I'm on
So
bag
here
2.
we are at Sarah Point. We're going to throw some bags off and get some hiking done. Welcome to the start of the Sunshine Coast Trail. We're on the beautiful west coast of British Columbia. There's Brenna. This is Sarah Point, where you got to climb up the rock face when they deliver you by the water taxi. And we did that last night. And then you hike about 500 meters in that direction to a beautiful hut, or you can stay in this area where there's a platform, and this is Canada's longest hut-to-hut trail, and we are going to visit the huts but camp in our tent. So the first hour seems to be mostly uphill. It's rocky, and often there's this beautiful moss that's covering the underbrush and pressed down on the trail, so it's kind of soft underfoot between the rocks. This is our first good water source, Hinder Creek, coming out of Hinder Lake. Don't try to get it from the lake, really yucky access. Got myself about 1.5 liters, which will do me until Wednesday Lake. Yeah, so after Hinder Lake, from kilometer 7, it's pretty well uphill. We're hot. We're hungry. We're looking forward to lunch soon. Just after Bliss Portage Camp, and if you're hiking through, I suggest this is a fantastic lunch spot for your first day. In the jungle, the mighty jungle, the bobcat sleeps tonight. Big climb at the end of the day to the Manzanita hut. Just saying. Wow. Welcome to Manzanita Hut, Sunshine Coast Trail, day 1 complete. There's the hut up there, camper down there, and a view to die for over here. So worth the hot, sweaty work it took to get here. Good morning. It's day 2, Tuesday, August 16th, and we are starting off from the Manzanita Bluff hut. Oh, gorgeous spot with beautiful view of Savory Island and then across to the mountains of Vancouver Island. Snow-capped still in August. I guess those ones stay snow-capped all year. Gorgeous sunny summer morning, and there goes Brenna down the trail. And we are headed for the Rivoli Pond, or Rivoli Pond, we're not sure how to pronounce it. And that's going to take us about, maybe 7 hours today. We like to take some decent breaks for snacks, lunch, and cooling down in the heat. And there's no rush, because we are just hiking for the joy of it. So here we are, looking back to Manzanita Bluffs, where we stayed last night. There's a beautiful hut. No tent platforms at this spot, but plenty of room for tents to pitch. So here we are at Rivalries or Reveille's, Revelize, nobody really knows how to say it, pond. And some resting hikers after a hard day on the trail. Well, enjoy your evening, everybody. We're hiking on.
Bye. Enjoy.
Thanks, you too. Happy trails. And here we are. Our final stop for day 2 is Appleton Creek. I saw in some people's videos that they recommended to push by Reveille's Pond to Apple Creek, that this was a nice alternative, and I think they might be right. Apparently there's a swimming hole up by the waterfalls there. Some other campers already settled in, a barking dog to welcome us, and I'm sure we can make home of this for the night very easily. Right, Brenna? So here we are, day 3. So we're just going up Scout Mountain now, and I believe this is our last ascent before we head down into Powell River. And what's special about Powell River is there's the trail intercepts with a pub. Yes, a pub with burgers. But also what's special about that is we're gonna meet Gord there, trail name, wow, and have a meal and camp together tonight and resupply and wash some clothes. I think it'll be in a bucket basically, but after we camp together tonight, Brenna and I'll head out on trail for the next 5 days of the journey before we meet up with him again to resupply, and we really appreciate it. Powell River, British Columbia. Next stop, the Shingle Mill Pub. Hiker's favorite stop on the SCT, the Shingle Mill Pub. And here's our favorite trail angel, it's Gord. Good morning. It's day 4 on the Sunshine Coast Trail. We're headed for Confederation Lake Hut today, which involves a lot of climbing at the end of the day when it's going to be super hot in the heat wave. Brenna and I are nice and rested and clean this morning. We met up with Gord, had a great meal at the Shingle Mill Pub, slept in my bed in the camper van. Brenna still pitched her tent, and it turned out we picked a site that was right at the SCT. We had no idea until we looked in the morning for where the trail was, and it was right beside us. And an easy goodbye for Gord. He didn't have to drive us to a trailhead. So we're just about to leave Powell Lake. That's where we came down from yesterday, the top of Scott Mountain. And there's Brenna. And there's where we're going for tonight. Confederation Lake Hut is somewhere up on the top. and lake being the operative word. It is super hot. So big and strong and pretty.
His babies are beside him.
Well, finally, our longest day so far. Confederation Lake Hut. We started at 9 a.m. this morning. We did make a little navigation error and added about an hour, because half an hour each way. And so, yeah, we started at 9 and now it's 7 something. Not great timing, but it was so hot. 40 degrees with the humidex. But here is the coveted Confederation Lake Hut. And here are some hikers to go with it. Hi, hikers! It's day 5, and we're coming down from Confederation Lake Hut, going down, 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 and then we will go up several thousand feet for the majority of the day. So I'll just destroy my knees on the way down, and then destroy my quads on the way up, and it'll all balance out. It's day 6 on the Sunshine Coast Trail, and we're just leaving Tin Hat Mountain Hut. And there's our neighbors from Washington. Oh, and that right there, that's a bear box. That's a steel box that keeps all the food safe from the bars and other critters that might be interested in having a sample in the night when you're sleeping if you keep it in your tent. And I've got my mom on my mind today. She got taken to hospital yesterday, and she's 92 and not doing amazing. Having a really hard time with back pain. So I'm carrying her in my prayers as I hike and praying that she gets some relief by being in the hospital and good medical care today. Really thankful for my siblings who are there to help out with her while I'm absent. And looking back up, that's where we just came from, Tin Hat Mountain Hut. We didn't stay in the hut. We had beautiful cliffside campsites last night. And we're heading down here now, making our way to Lewis Lake today. Looks like they tried to open it up for hikers, but maybe it's just too big and they're afraid the rest of it's going to slide down as soon as they cut it open. Look at this sucker. It's got to be 200 feet long. This is an old growth cedar forest, and the height of these guys is just amazing. Good morning, it's day 7. We are just leaving Elk Lake Hut, and didn't have to stay in the hut, thankfully. Brenna and I each found we had to really squeeze into 2 little sites, relatively far apart in the bush. I had to use my cat hole spade to dig out a bit of a level spot, but there's always a way. We figured it out. A great night there on the lake with a swim after the heat. So that was nice. Lots of people. A big difference on the weekend. Like every campsite was full. The hut had a couple people in it. People were disappointed when they arrived because the sites left were just scraps. So the sun's not out yet. It is warm, but it's not hot like we've had over the last week. What a heat wave, man. Over 40 every day. And we had another climb at the end of the day yesterday. We had a little one to come down from the lake today. And now it's kind of leveling off. I think the Sunshine Coast Trail motto should be, why cross the hill with a switchback when you can go straight up? I swear, this would be perfectly good going a little to the left and gradually up to the right. But no, it's going, this right now, this isn't that bad actually. But so much of this trail, if you don't like climbing, if you have any cardio or breathing or leg strength limitations, sorry, this isn't the trail to do. It's a lot of literal climbing where you're not even putting your heels down. You're up on your toes like a goat, and your heart rate's high a lot of the time. And there's a lot of sweating involved. And there's Brenna. Walt Hill Camp, next stop. Favorite site so far because look at this view. This is Walt Hill Hut, Walt Mountain Hut, Walt Hill. And there's Brenna on a hill in her Eureka tent. And mine is up and over and down on the other side. And we both get to wake up to this gorgeous view. We can see snow-capped mountains on the mainland in the distance. And the sunrise should be coming up in the east somewhere around there tomorrow morning. Can't wait. It's day 8, and Brenna and I are coming down from Walt Hill Hut. We had the best sights ever, see photos, and we've got about a 2,000 or 3,000, 2,000 foot descent, I think, this morning. So we're going down, 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 and we're going to meet Gord along the way, and he's going to give us our last resupply for just the last couple of nights, and then we'll be done. We just passed kilometer marker 125, and we've got 55 to go, and all is well. There's Gord. Oh, you look so clean.
Go feed them croissants, candy,
Croissants?
and get them on their way.
Oh, thank
Welcome.
you. Yeah. So that took a while. Down, down, down. Knees not happy. But there's Van Gogh, which contains treats, fresh water, fresh clothes. We're going to resupply and be ready to go for the last 2 days on the SCT.
The intrepid trekkers are on their way after a little bit of a break, energized, excited. 2 days to go, yes.
Well, it's the evening of day 8, and this is Lois Lake, and we are camped on Crown land. They have real sites. Our Crown land in Ontario are just rough, find-it-yourself sites, but these are nice. And that is Walt Hill, and we hike down, 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 and somewhere around there. That took us about 3.5 hours to hike down to meet Gord, and we rendezvoused and then hiked a few more, maybe 9 more kilometers. So we had a 20K day. Not too hard, going downhill most of the time. Little ups and downs here and there. And I'll just show you where we're camped because we really like it. There are 2 more pairs of people who are camped with us. And there's Brenna at our table. That motorhome's just there. There's nobody there. And my tent and Brenna's tent. And there's the lake we went swimming in. And now I need to filter water for tomorrow. It's day 9, August 23rd, our last full day and night on the trail. And we thought we'd spend it climbing 4,000 feet. So we're going from the beautiful lakeside campsite of Lois Point up to the beautiful summit of Mount Trubridge. And then tomorrow we descend swiftly down to Saltery Bay and to Gord and take the ferry back to Vancouver and on to the next leg of Gord's and my Can-Am adventure of 2022. So Brenna and I are kind of taking it easy. We're finding this climb warm, humid, tiring. This is a little bit of a level part, so that's why I'm able to shoot, but mostly we're kind of out of breath and taking lots of breaks to make sure we comfortably get to the top and not, totally miserable. And there's a lake along the way. I think it's Elephant Lake. We might just go for a dip there. It's the end of day 9 as I know it. Yay! This is Trubridge Hut. Not that we're looking to stay in the hut. Ooh, nice one. Log cabin. But we are looking for nice tent sites in this area. And we are looking to just stop hiking for the day. Oh, hello hikers. Nice to see you again. Good morning. It's our last day, day 10 on the Sunshine Coast Trail. And we got up at 4:30 this morning, and it's still just about, it's still pre-dawn. That's why the image is not well lit. We've left Mount Trubridge as quietly as possible so as not to disturb other hikers. And of course, there's still a climb after that, because that's how the Sunshine Coast rolls. And we're hoping for breakfast and sunrise on the summit. The reason we got up so early is we want to make the ferry at 2:30 today, and it will take us from about 6 a.m. till 1:30 to get down to Saltery Bay. All in a good day's hike. Hopefully that's not rescue first thing in the morning. Oh, hi, Brenna. This is the emergency shelter at the top of Trubridge. Just a little room in there with a window, some emergency water. Very much emergency. You wouldn't want to drink that if you didn't have to. Ooh, and a kaibo.
Well, we should do that.
Yeah, could have used that a few minutes ago. But we're gonna say goodbye to our last Sunshine Coast Trail outhouse. And now we're heading down. Well, this is the way to end the Sunshine Coast Trail. There are two choices, a higher route and a lower route. The lower route is longer, but the lower route is on the ocean. And okay, so there's a little more climbing to do, but we've been doing that for 10 days, so no big deal. And we are trying to beat the ferry before it takes off from Saltery Bay. So wish us luck. We're booting it as best we can with the heat, the humidity. We've pretty well run out of food and we've definitely got tired legs. But man, oh man, have we got the view.